does streaming ruin, let's just start with that. Does streaming ruin the magic of music and movies?
Let us know what you think in the comments below. We live in a very convenient society, right? And convenience can be a good thing, all right? You can have entertainment whenever you want. You can have food whenever you want. You can do a lot of things without leaving your house, all right? And that's important because, I don't know, imagine, I don't know, you're disabled, right? And you can't always get to the movie theater. Or imagine, like, you're freaking poor and the movie theater's is dumb expensive. That was a $20 ticket for the IMAX for me to go see Superman, bro. And I was like, God damn. And that was and it was still the matinee. It was still the 15% off, bro.
You saw it in Dolby? Dolby?
I saw the IMAX, bro. And I'm like, yo, bro, I still $20, bro. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, this shit used to be way fucking cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Versus like, I don't know, $8 a month, and I could stream whatever the hell I want on Netflix, right? I don't gotta go buy multiple CDs. I can actually just pay like $12 a month and get Hulu with my Spotify account. Like, what are we talking about, right? But I don't know, bro. There's something about the movie-going experience, like being in the cinema, being with the crowd of people, bro, seeing that Superman on such a big screen, everybody clapping at the end, bro, like everybody laughing with each other. Like, there's something beautiful about that, man. There's just something necessary about that. And you know what I really, really hate, what I think definitely cannot be streamed, is stand-up comedy. Watching a stand-up comedy special just feels like it's on streaming. It just feels terrible now, but I know it'll be different if I was in the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some things you just need to be there in person for and experience. And I think streaming kind of takes away that sense of bonding. Like you're talking about, like the movie going experience, like being there with your friends and bonding and watching this movie all together, hearing people laugh and like hearing people like make jokes or whatever. And I think also it starts turning into more of like a business. Now like streaming is like the thing, right? So everyone is focused on that business aspect of it. What's gonna stream well, what's gonna stay there, how much money are we gonna make? And then when you focus more on the business aspect and the money making, then yeah, that magic is gonna go away because you're not focused on the passion and the art, the stupid movies, because maybe it's not gonna stream as good.
Do you have anything to say perhaps on like the way streaming has messed with like the budgets?
Yeah, I mean, I would want to say that I think there's definitely a lack of curation. I think studios and a lot of streamers are trying to pump as much things as they can on these services, and it's to the point where like it can overwhelm a consumer or a subscriber because there's probably spending half an hour trying to look for something they want to watch, and that could be something really bad because there's just a lot of stuff. You're getting too much, and I think the main issue is that curation. Like, think about it. There's a lot of things that are made for theaters, and there's a lot of things that can be made specifically for streaming, and there could be a balance of both. And I remember that being a giant discussion because during COVID, like, theaters were gone, and a lot of filmmakers were discouraged because some of the films they were making, instead of getting the promised theater window, they were getting promised that now we're just going to throw it on streaming. And, people would take the time out of their lives to make something gigantic. Like, I remember Christopher Nolan with Tenet. That was a huge issue because it was coming out at a time where theaters were shut down. And, yeah, he was discouraged because they were thinking about just throwing his whole film on HBO Max. And it was like...
Yeah, I think streaming can take away like the sense of being special. You know?
And, with certain films, they're just made for theaters. Like, they have the IMAX cameras. Those are strictly used for IMAX movies. And they're meant for those to be played in theaters. And then there's certain things that just play really well at home. Like, you can watch like a good sitcom at the house, or somebody will make a show that feels like it could play really well on a phone or at the crib. It's all about curation, and I honestly advocate as well that the films that get made in theaters, they belong at home too, because there's some people that just can't make the theater, and I get that. But there's also a way of doing it where, like, these movies come out and they're in theaters for like 30 days and then now they just land on streamers. Like, they deserve as much shine as it used to. Like, back then, it would take us 3 months just to watch a movie that was in theaters, and it's because those movies don't get a lot of love, and that's why it takes a long time for us to have conversations about the movies. And it sucks because there's actually been moments where we want to go watch something, but it's streaming now, and we can't go see it in the theater the way everyone was talking about because the window's so short.
Absolutely.
So there's definitely a balance, and I think it's all about curation. And I think rather than just throwing stuff at a wall, just being more mindful of how they're approaching these things. That's the whole thing.
Take it after you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Couple things you brought to light that I wanted to touch up on. Movies not getting their shine in theaters.
Yeah.
Bro, growing up, I saw Shrek 4 to 6 times in theaters because I wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
And it wasn't available anywhere else. And they got their money back. And it was an experience every time. Like, the family went out, we saw this movie. I think that was very wholesome, and that's not something we're going to get back for sure.
Yeah.
There was something else. I think it was more in line with like maybe the budget or stuff like that. Oh, like tenant streaming and stuff like that. I think the movies are making a comeback. And being in a theater and kind of like what Sarai was saying is like the energy fills the theater, bro. Then we were watching. What was it? Was it Materialist?
We watched The Materialist.
And that dude was cracking up in the back, and every time he laughed, we laughed because we knew it was funny. And it's sometimes like someone else's joy makes your joy.
It felt like I was making a friend.
Yeah, exactly. We left. We were like, I rock with that guy. Never made eye contact with him. Never saw him, but I was like, that dude. If he needs a drink, I'll buy it.
I have too many moments like that in theater. So like, there's a lot of moments I have watching movies in theaters. I have more moments like that rather than thinking about watching something at home, by myself, or like, I've honestly never had, I've had moments where you watch stuff with friends, but I have more moments in theaters doing that rather than inviting people over to the crib and watching something on a streamer.
Yeah.
I got one last comment. I
was like, I got a couple things to say. I'm gonna go.
Go,
Yo,
go,
Michael,
go.
when we watched the Wes Anderson film over here, that was cool because we made it a screening experience. Granted, it was only the 3 of us, but it still felt like, like the film took over the room. You know what I'm saying? You're not just watching it. Like we're enjoying it. We're kind of involved in it. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is, we're saying streaming or like onto streaming. This is not including Twitch, YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are not like for streamers.
We're talking like Paramount Plus and all.
Yeah, we're talking about streaming products. And that being said, I think, and this for me applies heavily to music. If you have your taste, if you know what you like, there's no way the streaming can destroy the authenticity. Granted, that's for music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but finish.
Okay.
I got something.
You know what I'm saying? He's cooking. And like I say, if you have your own taste, if you can curate your own ideas, that's also kind of ties into the last question about like influencers and stuff like that. If you know what you like, then it's not gonna affect you. But you have to know yourself. You can't let other people make decisions for you. And I feel like seeing what's popular, or like, I know there's people who only listen to the top 100 songs. Or like they only listen to radio hits. And like, that could never be me, bro. I want that underground. I want that I never heard of. I want to hear some dude from the Midwest making a song about how he loves cats and dogs. And I'm like, I would have never heard this.
Last thing I guess we'll talk about, because this is, I think, the real problem, and it's the executives. Like, we talk about how many you need 1 million streams on Spotify just to get like, I don't know, like 30 racks, right? And 30K, I mean that's somebody's probably annual salary, to keep it a buck. But it's like 1 million streams versus 1 million actual like disc sales, right? What does that mean for the artists? What does that mean for their profitability, right? When we're talking about like, talking about South Park in an earlier clip, I got Kenny on my phone case, bro. We're getting like Paramount Plus, they're having contract issues with HBO, and now the writers are getting involved, and essentially they're like ruining the show for the fans. a lot of these executives, a lot of their corporate greed and whatnot is fucking up our art. And I don't know, that I think is the biggest insult and the biggest injury caused by streaming at large, right? Oh yeah, nah, that's the last thing.
Yeah. Money ruins it. It's really what it is.
Over time, I just hurt myself, so I just